看特别帅的 Morgan， 这是他的工厂，特别喜欢这台车。大家都知道我是一个老旧燃油车爱好者，这是不是老旧范儿？特别老旧。看到没有？转向，这是1909年开始 Morgan 的第一款车，就是这样的转向，用了一个飞机发动机的 V 型双缸发动机。
Look at the color. Here's your green.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You never compromise. I always listen to my wife. 媳妇儿今天能消费。英国老登们的体面生活啊，大早上来到这个摩根的工厂，然后可能是做个保养，可能是工厂带出去玩一圈，可能等自己的车，但是就非常的这种叫 chill， 就是很安静的享受自己的生活，倍儿开心。谁不想当个老登啊？刘董是 Morgan 的经销商，凭借我的方式
经销商来，官方没有
认证
做认证的，不能叫经销商，只能叫合作伙伴。
合作伙伴 ，OK。老先生刚才给我们介绍了一些很有意思的地方，你看这些建筑它都是木结构的，然后外面包了金属，然后跟这个门顶是一样的啊，这就是摩根车的特色，它整个的骨架是木头做的，这是这个车为什么很轻的一个原因。然后它的外面呢包着是铝合金，然后这个木结构的建筑呢，它的这个木纹一层一层的是降落下去的，它是有一个倾角的，看见没有？这样的一个倾角的，而这个倾角跟摩根车的那个飞的翅膀的 logo 是一样的。而且你看啊，大英也讲风水。他说他们这个建筑，我再往后一转哈，他说正对着后面那个山，我不知道它山的名字是什么，是完全相对的，所以他们有一个风水的一个讲究。而这是他们最新的叫做 Super Sport 超级运动，它之前呢就是这个 Plus 6 6缸的 Morgan 的一个新产品。然后他们说这个车是今年5月份刚发布，5月份的发布会就是哈蒙德鼹鼠从他们的工厂从这儿开出来的。
The drum roll, please. Morgan Super Sport。
这个比起老款看上去有点那种 modern classic， 就是现代的经典车的感觉。它不像老车看上去，那么的粗糙，它很多的细节我觉得更加的完善，既有现代车这种高级的制造工艺，又有老车那个味道。媳妇儿今天能消费。2004年勒芒，这车虽然没赢，但是它完赛了。然后，这个 Morgan 去派了一组这个维修人员，然后当年被评成了最棒的一组维修人员。说了很多有意思的东西啊，其实跟大家想象的不一样，可能认为老车一定都是手动挡的，但是其实他们说他们现在96%的车都是自动挡。而且用那个宝马的变速箱的车，100公里加速是4.8秒，但是手动挡的加速是5.2秒，所以还更省油，还加速更快，就是包括变速箱的重量也会更轻。
Once we get into the factory, you'll start to see the construction of the car in a logical process.
Thank you very much.
So it makes sense to you. That's it. Good morning.
这是最早的摩根的工厂，1914年，现在还是作为办公室使用。
Now, when we come in, go round to the right. That's the runabout, and that was the first pre-production car that we made. It's the first Morgan motor car ever.
Okay.
And what you'll see from this is that we have very little bodywork on the car. It's a single-seater, and if you look at his right hand, you will see that it's on a tiller, like a boat.
Okay.
And we thought that that would steer the front wheels. But when we went into production, it was decided that we would say goodbye to the tiller and we would put a steering wheel onto the car.
所以100多年前的摩根的工人们就是站在这儿，这些脚印就是曾经的这些生产的时候，工人们从这个木质的小格子里拿零件，然后来来回回在这儿来组装这台车。然后比较好玩的是，摩根的这个生产这个车的这个工程师，他父亲是一个知名的摄影师，所以才会有那些漂亮的照片，是他爸给他拍下来的。 所以他们这个品牌有一个非常齐全的和漂亮的一个档案，历史档案。
This building here is the one we're standing in.
Okay.
Here. We're going to go down into this building, but you can see behind just fields and trees.
Okay.
We're all the way around. Here, about 10 years later, and now we have run down the hill that we walked up earlier.
Okay.
Then, and just fields and trees. And then here is an old carriage, and he's sitting now in our chassis for our first four-wheel car, which was called the 4-4. Four wheels and 4 cylinders.
Okay.
And that was 1936.
1936。这是最早的一台8缸的摩根，然后它的这个车主死了之后，他们把它改成了赛车，然后去英国各地参加比赛。这是英国这种精神的传承。咱们会觉得说一个人走了之后把这东西好好保存起来，他们会让他的精神继续跑在路上。这是一对夫妻的车 ，Peter Morgan， 然后 Jim Morgan 是他的老婆，在他生日的时候做了第一台的Plus 8的酷配，就是硬顶版本，就是带棚的。然后同时呢，他老婆选了这个蓝色，以及要了一个这个自动挡。然后另外呢，当时英国人的女生的裙子都很短啊，所以呢，这样的门他上下车会比较优雅。这是给他老婆做的车，
定制化的还是？
因为 Morgan 都是定制化的，你看每台 Morgan 都是定制化的。这台摩根叫做 Aero， 它可以说是现代摩根的一个起源，因为它是第一次用一个铝合金连接的体型架构，然后整个的车身的这个上面的这些骨架还是木头的。然后也用上了一个宝马的4.4 V8的发动机啊，我理解就是 M5上当年的发动机。然后这台车是2000年的日内瓦车展上进行了发布。然后有一个比较好玩的地方啊，这个车灯它是来自于大众的加特林。然后当时这个设计师呢已经完成了所有的设计，他说我做的非常漂亮。很多人说这个车灯有点丑，对吧？整个造型有点怪。他说我已经做了很好的设计，不要再打扰我。所以这个加工车灯就留在这儿了。而这台车就是之后摩根参加勒芒24小时赛那台车的原型车，一台8缸的手动6速的，具有很好动力学的现代化的摩根。而这个也是它跟宝马的一个开始。这台8缸宝马不再生产之后，他们就用6缸的 B58发动机替代了这台车。Like the Morgan is all in green, like this.
Yeah.
But in this showroom, I see all this.
This is heritage. So it's showing some of the older cars here. Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yes, blue. I've never even thought about it.
So blue.
Blue. Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Is that with a Morgan car, it's. I'd say I'll use the word unique.
Unique. Okay.
But probably that's a bit too strong. But if you get other supercars,
Okay.
you would normally find that it is the male counterpart of a partnership, and he'll say, "Why don't we go and buy this car? Why don't we go and buy that car?" And then he'll say, "Now we're going to have this. We're going to have that." With a Morgan, you find that they talk together. The two parties will talk, and she will say, "Why don't we have this?" and "Why don't we have that?" And they will design the car together.
We never compromise. I always listen to my wife.
Well, this is very good. Do we have this on film?
Yeah. I see a lot of British company has the logo with wings, like Morgan, like the Mini, like many others.
Why? Right. So but the other companies, to a certain, not many have those wings like that. Now it's very important. The logo here. So you've got to go back to the beginning of the 20th century, and there was a young man, and he became one of our. Albert Ball is his name, and his father forbade him to learn to fly. It was the early beginning to learn to fly.
Okay.
And his father said, "No, you are not going to fly." But he disobeyed his father. He went and he learned to fly. And then we come into the First World War. He was on leave, and in 1916, and he was bored out of his mind. You know, you can imagine that he'd been in his plane and fighting combat and very successful. And he didn't know what to do with himself. And he came here and he bought himself a car. He bought himself a Morgan, a 3-wheeled Morgan. She loved.
OK，
And sadly, he'd only had the car for a short length of time. He was back in France in 1917, and he was shot down and killed.
OK，
I don't know exactly how it all worked out, but basically there was talk, and it was asked whether we could use basically the logo from the Royal Flying Corps as our logo for the wings. So we have to now look and say, we're standing in 1914, the building here. Well, for us, it was a difficult time because we had the First World War.
OK，
But the government said, you're exporting. We were exporting even then in those early days. You can keep making motor cars. Well, a lot of the workforce had gone to fight for king and country. And so we just ticked over. But when we came back in 1919, now people were beginning to be able to afford their first family cars, especially a 3-wheel car with tax breaks.
Okay.
It's less expensive. And Harry was very competitive. He wanted to make sure that if somebody was going to buy a car, that they knew what a Morgan motor car was, and hopefully they'd seen a Morgan.
Okay.
So he decided what he would do is that he would now take his cars and put them out in front of people. So at weekends, he used to take his family and friends down to Goodwood. They would take a couple of mechanics from the factory, a couple of cars, and they would go racing.
OK，
Now it turns out that the competitors in the race weren't very happy with us because we were good. So what Brooklyn said was that if there is a Morgan in the race, you go and sit in the pits, stay there, and the competitors would go to the starting grid. They would start the race on this track, very steeply banked, where this oval. And when they came round to the starting grid again, if they hadn't broken down, if they hadn't crashed, then we were allowed to join them. 1 lap down. And invariably we would win the race because we were fast, we were reliable, we were well engineered.
Whoa.
And that's what you're going to see today, because we've never looked back from there, because all our cars have been developed on the track from those early days. That's why they're so wonderful. And then we come to 1939. 39, Second World War. This
Okay.
time the government said, you can forget about making motor cars. We want your engineering facilities for the war effort.
Okay.
And this is why we've got this lathe here. And the government gave us about 15 of these,
Okay.
so that we could now use them to help in the war effort. Come, let's go down now into where the car starts its journey. Be careful of the steps, the start of the construction. So if you see here, now we have the rear running gear, which will go onto the rear subframe. These are BMW that
Okay.
we've got through here. There are various other parts. These aluminium parts that you see here, we have constructed those ourselves.
我们现在在摩根的总装工厂哈，给大家看一下啊，这是他们的铝合金车架，其实跟我们看的路特斯的车架是非常相似的，它是拿这种铝板进行铆接和粘连，你看这是铆钉给它们粘连在一起，然后包括胶粘的技术，所以保证了英国车的特色就是极致的轻量化，而且这个强度也是够的。我们之前在遮台看过一台路特斯撞得粉碎。它的核心的零部件保证了驾驶员，但是前面和后面都撞没了。那前面后面是什么呢？我们来这里看一看啊，这是它的后车架，后车架就是这个是它的一个后车架，然后已经把这个后面的差速器，然后包括传动轴已经装上了。这些东西呢都是来自于宝马，然后他们也是一个比较成熟的总成。然后刚才也讲过了，现在这个铝油箱就是欧洲的版本，然后呢，美国的油箱呢就是一个这个塑料油箱的版本。然后这个车架是可以上下旋转的。他们每一个车的组装呢，是把这个车架拿下来，然后把那个发动机和变速箱是单独的，然后前后的副车架呢先装上。现在在这吃饭这个金色头发的女士，她就是装这个后桥的。后桥装上之后呢，直接放到车下，就是从这儿，其实一点点举升给它上来，然后这个车架呢也能转啊，也能进行一个安装。然后这个呢就是前副车架，发动机是装在这上的。然后刚才也说这个发动机怎么装呢？它发动机跟变速箱是合在一起，然后吊起来，然后这样潜下去。然后整个装在这个车上，而同时也说了啊，这个有一个不同点， 是这个部分，这是节气门的控制单元，在宝马上这个单元呢是在上面的，但是因为 Morgan 这个车呢，你看这儿基本就是纯平了，所以呢他们把这个地方特意设计在下面。这个是这台宝马发动机针对 Morgan 的一些简单的设计，然后你看前后都是双叉臂，就是小巧简单轻量化，我觉得这是 Morgan 的特色。Cool.
All right.
I think
Well
so.
remembered. Well remembered. Yes, that's it. Good. Good. So now we've got the engine in here. So as you can see, the running gear is here. The car is ready to go almost, but it can't go anywhere because there's no brake fluid in it.
Okay.
There's no oil in it. There's
Okay.
no fuel. So that's got to go to the end where they will do that up. This car is now ready to go.
OK.
What will happen with this now is that they put the wheel on here. Once it's been finished at this station here, and it's got all its liquids in, they will then drive it out of the door, then that will go down to wait for its body. Have a look at this because
The wooden frame, huh?
now, yes, but this is unusual for it to be here because this is one of those 50 midsummers. So this is, so the difference here now, we're going to take that car away and we're going to make its body on bucks away from the car.
OK.
On those 50, we made the body actually on the rolling platform. So
Okay.
this is one of those 50. So now the rolling platform has been made. Now we've started to build the body. So that's the tub. Quite correctly, that is your wooden frame.
Okay.
You'll see being made. And that's been put on there. And that will go next door. And then they will build up the body on there. I'm hoping there will be one in there for us to look at. There was yesterday. We'll go down in a minute and have a
very
look.
much.
So we now have your rolling platform. So that's going to go down. We now need to make a body.
OK， 我们现在是车身的制造车间哈。
This is now what we call the tub of the car. Be careful of your leg there. This is your ashwood frame. So this close-up is the ashwood frame, which I'll show that being made in a little while. And the tinsmiths next door have made all this bodywork by hand. They've taken aluminium and they've folded it, they've rolled it, they've beaten it to make the tub where you'll sit in the car. So that's done. They will cover the whole of the ashwood with the aluminium frame. So the tub is here now. The next thing will happen if we look at this, and they've lifted this up and they've put it onto this former.
OK.
From there, they will then meet the rear wings. Now, when the wing came into us, it stopped there. Feel there. Feel there?
So there's
You
a gap. OK.
That's a weld.
OK.
Now, in this case,
Okay.
what's happened now, the weld has been made good and they put a primer onto it.
Okay.
That's actually not normal. You would not normally see that the primer would be done further down. Now, what we have to do is we have to make a bonnet for that to go over the top of the car.
它其实那个大的前翼是用那个 foaming 的工艺做出来的，是一家美国公司帮他们专门做飞机翅膀的那个铝制的公司做的，其他都是手工焊接的。这是那个限量的，一共50台的，他们就直接在这车身上做了。但是其他的车呢，都是在这拿这个模具，相当于敲好了，然后再出去准备喷漆，最后再装。但是这个车就是一点一点往车上装，这是最原始的制造方式。所以这车还是值点钱的。
Let's come in and we walk down and we'll come through and we'll see that frame being made. So be careful of the steps as you
OK,
go down.
thank you. 他们在打乒乓球。
Is the wood shop.
Wood shop.
So
OK.
all the timber, all the ash wood comes from Lincolnshire. It's English ash that we
Okay.
use from the county of Lincolnshire. And that comes into the milling room, which is through there. Now the milling room is forbidden. We're not allowed to go into the milling room where the wood timber comes in. But that comes through and that is now brought out in the panels. You can start to see it, the frame. This is a +4 here.
Okay.
So we've got these bucks again for them to work on. The framework is coming on here. Now it's standing here because the next journey for this is that it will go into the dipping tank. So there's a big tank and that will be submerged into the liquor. And that will do two things. It will preserve the timber And just as importantly, we can then certify when we export it that there's nothing going in it. There's no beetle, there's no woodworm, there's no mite in there. Up it comes, it drip dries, then up into the tin shop where they'll cover it in aluminium. Now, I want to point out this part here. So this here is the rear wheel arch. So this coming down through here is the rear wheel arch. Obviously, the rear wheel is through here in the finished car. Now, this is what we call a laminate, and this is made, and I'll show you how we make this up, this part.
OK。它这个是4层木头，拿胶粘在一起，然后最后把这个4层木头搁在这个模具上压紧。这是1951年最早就做那个 Class 4的那个模具，然后最后就出来这个形状。
These are the offcuts.
Offcuts, so it's waste.
Yeah.
We can take a piece.
Wait.
Ooh. Is this a plus 4?
It's a plus 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question actually.
Come on.
This is really hard to make. If some damage on the car,
Yes.
maybe some crash
Yep,
on the
yes,
bodywork,
yep,
how to repair it?
It can be. So you can have it all around the world. There are people that we can supply with new bits of frame or a framework or body parts, and the cars can be restored. Probably, I have to say to you, we probably are as a motor manufacturer, we have more of our historic cars on the road than any other motor car company.
Okay.
Because people can make wooden frames. They can make
I will
little
read it.
parts of it.
Yeah.
They can get us to make the aluminium body and then send it to them if they need it. But remember, these cars are deeply loved.
For sure.
And so people drive them very carefully. And of course, they don't use them every day.
I
So,
see.
you know, so the cars would probably, in a normal car, we would say perhaps 12,000 miles per year. On a Morgan, probably 2,000-3,000 miles
Maximum.
there.
Yeah.
So they aren't taken out in the bad weather. So snow, no. Rain, well, perhaps. But so we're not subjecting them to the dangers that you would have with a normal car. But if anything does happen, then we can restore it.
Okay.
Yep, so it can be done.
Thank you very much. 看，这就是一层一层特别特别小的，然后粘起来，然后拿压力给它们最后固定成型，
Thank you, David.
然后做成了这样的样子。这个就是那个 Midsummer， 它会把这个木头作为裸露件，不像刚才我们看那个木头，它上面还有那个拿铝啊覆盖上。这就是真实展示的怡宝的那个框架的结构。午休结束了，然后呢，音乐就响起来了，工作开始了。
So these cars are now being made ready to leave the factory.
因为这后面是 PDI 车间，就是最后的检查车间，我们是不允许进去的。但是他们有前窗展示，然后你能看见说这个车最后检查的样子。好，好帅。Thanks.
That's it. Good. That was our 4-seater Morgan that we had here.
4-seater Morgan.
We used to make a 4-seater Morgan until 2016. That's it. 2016. And then it was thought that the Isofix children's fittings were not perhaps doing their job correctly.
Okay.
We were going to have a big cost in making that work, so we said goodbye to the 4-seater Morgan. That was 2016.
以前都是木质的仪表台，但是因为现在要装安全气囊，所以都换成了铝的了，就在车里的木纹就没那么多了。
So here, what we have is that you remember we've made the body for the car. We've taken it off the buck and we put it on a trolley and we've brought it down here. This is the pre-paint shop. We're not allowed in there.
Of course.
What they're going to do here, they're going to check all the aluminium. The welds will all be ground out so that they're now perfect. And then we want to use water-based paints down in the paint shop. So we need to put on those primers. You saw one, that wing had a primer on it. So that was be done in here.
Okay.
So you have to put an acid etch onto the aluminium so that the primer will stay on it and not run off. So it's acid etched in there, 3 coats of primer, and then it's taken to the old aero shop.
OK，
That's where it's going to be sprayed. The next time the car is arriving, it's driving up here now. It's now coming in here to find all its trim.
Okay.
So we'll go through and find all the nice bits, the leather. So now what we're looking at is that the leather has been chosen, it's been cut, it's been stitched, and it's now being turned into the seat for your Morgan car. Those will be made up, and then the seats will then come down and eventually find their way into the cars, we'll see.
OK，
This is how the car comes in. They have the leather, and they're making the leather for the insides for one of these cars. They'll go into here. That will go with one of these cars. Everything is being made individually for each car. Now, there's your side screen. Now, the side screen that you've seen on the Plus 4 is on the outside of the car. The fixings, you can see it.
It's on the
They're
outside
on the outside.
OK
And also, we've got 2 hinges.
OK，
Come and look at the Super Sport. Come back here.
他说那个 Plus 4的门是在外面的 ，so it's put inside，哈。
Now, what we're doing is that the side screen, if you look on that side,
Okay.
the side screen is now inside the door.
OK，
So there are no fixings on the outside for the Super Sport. That now goes inside. The 2 hinges have now gone to 1 big hinge inside.
OK，
Very strong hinge. So we can now put a seal between the door and the frame, which we've never had before.
OK，
So we have the side screen for both cars, but on the Plus 4, it's fixed on the outside. On the Super Sport, it's put on the inside. So much stronger, much firmer.
OK，
Now they've covered it in the leather of choice. So the leather has been put into here now. It's been stitched with the same color stitching as the color of the car.
OK，
And now look at the color. Here's your
Okay.
green.
Yeah, it's fantastic because I think green is the symbol for Morgan. But I mean, that's true.
But you can choose. The chaps who work in the wood shop, one of them said to me at one point, we make the wooden frame for the car. It takes me about 12 to 13 hours to make a wooden frame.
OK，
And when the car is finished, nobody knows it's there. It's covered in aluminium,
Okay.
it's covered in leather,
Leather,
carpet, paint, but Super Sport. On the Super Sport, you have a boot, and that's the piece of timber I showed you in the wood shop. So this is exposed. So this now is actually, when you open the boot on the Super Sport,
You can see the
you
wood.
can now see a piece of ashwood.
I should. OK，
Isn't that beautiful?
very beautiful? I like it.
I like that very much.
我特别喜欢这一块儿，他们说在这个 Super Sport 的这个后备箱加了这块原木，因为以前的 Morgan 你是看不见木头的，它都是被这个皮质啊，然后铝啊，然后仪表台包裹住。但是这个车打开后备箱，你能看到一块原木，太骚了。
You can now see that we've got the carpeting, we've put the center console in, and that is natural ash, which has been given a tawny tint to make it darker. So that will be coming through. The leather works in. It's now beginning to get, soon it will be having the front put on like the Super Sport that we see. This is one of the seats. So here's a finished seat. This will be going into this
Okay,
car here.
yeah.
So it will be
So
going.
the color
So
same.
the wheels have been removed.
OK，
And so these will now be the new wheels.
the new wheels
The wire
waiting here.
wheels that are going onto that Plus 4.
Whoa.
That's right. So those will be finding their way on for the first time. And when the car has been finished, it will go for a run.
Wow, this interior is amazing.
That,
你看这颜色
yeah. So,
This color is
So we've got
amazing.
Linden here working away. So what we've got on here is that here this is an engineered veneer. And
Okay.
it's straight-grained walnut with aluminium running through it. You can see the beautiful hard top. So you can either have a hard top
Can we choose
or you-
the both?
Sorry?
Like the convertible and the hard.
Yes, you can have them both.
Okay.
So you can have that, and so when in the winter you take the soft top off the car and you replace it with the hard top. So it's an optional extra. So now what we're seeing here is that we have no robots.
Okay.
Everything
no robots.
is done,
okay.
no robots. And everything you can see here, you're having a look inside. Oh, John. But there is how we spray the cars. In the spray booths by hand.
Okay.
So you can see there are parts there for a +4 that we've got in there. They will then come out under these bright lights, and you can see now the quality of the paint finish that we're getting. These are bonnets for +4s. These are super sports. There's your bit of timber that's going to go in the back. So we've sprayed that with lacquer inside there. So those are waiting to go into the back, into the boot of the Super Sport. The car has now found its platform that it's been made. The tub has found its way here. The doors are going to find their way on. The rear wings are on here. And once that's been done, that's going to be driven up and out into the trim shop where the leather will go into it, the seats will go into it, and it'll be finished off there. So we can now see the wooden frame.
The wooden frame painted.
Yeah, that's right. So there's your wooden frame. You saw the aluminium being put on there. This one piece that I talked to, one solid piece with a little step in it, that's now found its paintwork. The bright work's been put in here. Now that's going to start looking for its platform. There you see it all under the lights, under the finishing off. The
polishing, huh?
Polishing there, flattening it off, so make sure everything is absolutely perfect. Yeah.
I'm totally. I mean, now I know the wooden frame and aluminum bonded chassis.
Yes,
and the Morgan handmade craft. I mean, I don't know how to say, but so excited.
You've passed. Well done, well done. Yes.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
So this way?
We're going out through this way now. Well, thank you. I've enjoyed taking you all around. So
Thank you very much.
It's
So
very so interesting, unique now. So it's history. So yeah, absolutely. So I'm delighted that you've all enjoyed it. Now go on into your cars, drive carefully. The M6 is not particularly nice, but
Okay.
in this weather, we should get away before the schools.
I see. So we will leave now. Thank you very much.
You leave now. Yes, that's right. And we'll see you again.
Hope so.
Let us know how you get on. Take care. Thank you now. Goodbye.